Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 19 of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the Beginning. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also stay in tune because I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto's an OP Seal Master. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And later on over on Anime King, I'm going to be posting what if Naruto was given a second chance. And also what if Naruto's a godly mage. So stay tuned for those and I hope you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So the last spot we left off, Sasuke got utterly destroyed by Itachi. As Jiraiya came there, the two decided to retreat for now, as they weren't up to fighting a Sannin. As Jiraiya tried to trap them in his Toad Mode trap, but Itachi burned through it with the Amaterasu flames. As Naruto sealed it away, knowing that it was incredibly dangerous, Gaiden came there as he took Sasuke and headed off with him. As Naruto and Jiraiya kept on walking, as Jiraiya taught Naruto about the secret jutsu that he wanted to teach him in the first place, and that was the Rasengan. Showing Naruto it, Jiraiya was surprised that Naruto fly through the first two steps like they were nothing. Yes, he was surprised. But the last one was causing Naruto some, difficulty. But he continued to work on the jutsu. As they arrived at the city, they realized that the place was destroyed with the castle that was outside. And there was a strong smell of snake. As the group headed into Tanzukagai. Going in there, they searched but they could not find Tsunade. Back at Konoha, Tenten was pissed, as she'd been looking for Naruto the entire time and she couldn't find him after the third Hokage's funeral. And then he just up and left like that with Jiraiya, and not even saying anything to her. Yes, she was beyond pissed, as she was just hoping for him to come back so she could give him a piece of her mind. Meanwhile, Naruto was at the festival. As he went inside the mindscape to talk with the Kyubi, but she was angry at him, as he hasn't really talked to her since what happened. She's been trying to get in touch with him but he kept on blocking her out, so she was angry. And he kinda made her more angry when he talked and came in there, but then he got angry, and the both of them started cursing each other, as bad things were said between the two of them, and he left. The Kyubi then started to talk to this person that was always there, as she couldn't even understand her own feelings, as she didn't know why she cared about this stupid human, as she just went back to her bed. They found Tsunade, as Naruto was pissed off at her and challenged her because she was degrading the Hokage so bad. They came to a settlement. If Naruto can learn the Rasengan in 3 days, then she will return to Konoha and also give him the necklace. And with that, Naruto started to train. He managed to get the Rasengan down after using his clone, but he wanted to do it with one hand and do it in a second like Jiraiya. The days passed as Naruto woke up in his bed to see Shizune on the ground. He overused his yokai, so he passed out. Tsunade was the one that healed him and brought him here. As Shizune told them what was going on as Jiraiya was injured, Tsunade spiked his drink. They came across Tsunade being beaten by Kabuto as blood was splashed all over her. As Jiraiya went to take on Orochimaru, as Naruto went to take on Kabuto, the both of them started a clash. As Kabuto told Naruto that he's on Kakashi's level, so there's no way that he can beat him. As Naruto disrespected Orochimaru, and Kabuto got angry as he charged at Naruto. So yeah guys, that was basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So this will begin this new episode. Naruto jumped away from Kabuto as Kabuto hit his arm before he could get away fully though, as Naruto's arm was a bit limp. Do you understand now? You might be strong, but you're still not on my level, said Kabuto. Keep talking, buddy, said Naruto. It will be only more enjoyable when I wipe that smile off your face. As Naruto tried to stall for time as his impressive healing factor worked its magic. I suppose I'll just have to beat you down again to show you my point, said Kabuto as he activated his chakra scalpels. Naruto soon found himself on the defensive, as he avoided Kabuto's scalpels. As it was Naruto's aim to dodge all of the incoming attacks while his arm finished healing. As Naruto pulled that smoke bomb and threw it, Kabuto stopped. He knew exactly that Naruto wanted to charge right in that smoke bomb, but he's no idiot, so he just stayed on guard. Several shuriken came out of the smoke bomb, forcing Kabuto to jump away to the left. After that, 6 clones shot out of the smoke stream, engaging Kabuto in a fierce taijutsu battle. The battle was a lot tougher than Kabuto had expected, as Kabuto finally managed to dispel them all, but 2 hands shot up from the ground and grabbed him. What the? 2 more clones came behind him and latched onto his hands, forcing them away so he could not use them for attack. As he saw Naruto right in front of him with a grin on his face. Looks like I underestimated you more than I thought, said Kabuto. He tried to activate his chakra scalpels, but he frowned, as he could not direct chakra to his arms. Damn right you did, Naruto said. I know it's too late for you to do anything. I am sure by now you realize that you can't use those blasted chakra scalpels of yours. That's right, my clones place a pair of chakra disrupts and seals on your hands. I would have them disrupt your entire system, but they don't have enough chakra for that. But not like it matter anyway. I just need you to stand still and be my guinea pig for this new jutsu I learned. I have never used it on a human before, so you have to tell me what he likes if you survive. Kabuto started to struggle, but the clones held on to him tight as Naruto held out one hand as he started to channel his yokai. As Kabuto watched in shock as Naruto rushed towards him and pulled back his hand. Rasengan! Kabuto screamed out in pain and agony as the jutsu tore into his skin and his muscles, as Kabuto's body was sent sailing before smashing right into a large boulder. As Naruto clones poofed away, Naruto turned around with a smile on his face as the purple Rasengan was in his hand as he walked straight up to Tsunade. As he walked up to a stunned Tsunade, "Well, Bachan," he said, "it looks like your title of legendary soccer holds true. I believe you owe me a necklace." "Huh, would you look at that," said Jiraiya. "It looks like the kid is better than I thought he would be." "What do you think, teen?" said Jiraiya as he looked at Orochimaru. Orochimaru gritted his teeth. "Such power does not belong in hands I cannot control. He must die before he become a hindrance to my plans." As Orochimaru flew past Jiraiya with speed, Jiraiya tried to chase after him, but Tsunade's drug was still not fully wear off yet. But he was gaining on him, as Orochimaru then spun and stretched out his tongue that grabbed Jiraiya's ankle and pulled him in the ground and tossed him away. Orochimaru then started to dash even faster as his sword came out of his mouth. Naruto's back was currently turned towards him. He was going to kill him right now. Naruto's senses went off as he spun around, but he was not fast enough for a sudden speed, as the sword did not go through his heart though. It pierced right through his shoulder. Naruto let out a roar that sounded more demonic than human as he ripped the blade out of him, as he could feel the poison coursing through his system. "Naruto-kun," Kyubi, Naruto said, surprised to hear her voice after several days. "I'm right here. Hang on, I'm flushing the poison out," she said. "How long would that take?" Naruto asked. "About 5 minutes to flush the poison out. The wound will take longer to heal because this kind of poison causes necrotism." "Thanks," said Naruto. He then felt something on his shoulder as he turned to see it was a green, glowing hand. "Bachan? You okay, kid?" asked Tsunade. Despite this stinging sensation, Naruto gave her a grin. "It will take more than a poison to bring me down," he said. Tsunade found herself smiling at the brave face that Naruto put on, as Naruto saw a glimmer of sunlight flash in his eye. It was from Orochimaru's blade as he was right behind Tsunade. As Naruto had to move fast, he had to do something, as he pushed Tsunade out of the way, as the blade tear right through his chest, the left side, barely nicking his heart. As Naruto heard 2 screams, Tsunade screaming from the outside and the Kyubi screaming from the inside, but it was too hazy to actually make out what they were saying, as he looked up in front of him to see Orochimaru with a smug look on his face. As Naruto clenched his fist and pulled it back and smashed it right into Orochimaru's face. Orochimaru was forced to let go of the Kusanagi as he was sent skidding away with great force. As Naruto grabbed the blade and ripped it out of him, his eyes were not blue or red, they were purple, with black slits running down them, as his whisker marks started to get thick, as his ears got pointed at the tips, making them look like elf ears, as his fangs and his nail grew out as well. But its hair wasn't different, its hair turned blood red, with spikes going down, making them look like 10 tails behind him, as everyone had a shocked expression on their face, looking at what they just saw. As Naruto thrust his hand towards Orochimaru, a large purple claw came, as it went straight after him. The surprise and the shock, and his battle with Jiraiya before, he was unable to get away as a claw grabbed him, as Naruto pulled Orochimaru towards him. As Naruto's left hand shot out like a spear, and sliced right through Orochimaru like butter. As Naruto pulled back his hand to rip it right through the man once more, but Orochimaru opened his mouth wide and he slipped out of it. As Naruto threw away the dead skin and turned to the real Orochimaru. The moment Naruto took another step forward, his body started to shake before he collapsed down on his knees. As he collapsed right on his face, going back to normal, Orochimaru saw that he sprang into action to kill Naruto right there and then. But before he could reach Naruto, a fist smashed into his face so hard his entire face was dented in, as his body was sent sailing with great force. Orochimaru came to an abrupt stop. He pulled himself out of the ground as he saw who punched him. Why? Why are you protecting the kid, Tsunade? You owe him nothing. Why am I protecting him? As Tsunade looked at the unconscious Naruto that was being tended by Shizune as her eyes softened. The reason why I'm protecting him is because I am Senju Tsunade, granddaughter of the first Hokage, grandniece of the second Hokage, and as of today, the fifth Hokage of Konoha, she said. Time skip. Naruto slowly opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was the wall with the seals on it. As he was on the bed inside the mindscape. As Naruto saw her stand at the door, he quickly got up. Kyubi, he said, did you bring me here? She did not answer him though, as he sighed. I suppose you're still upset, he said. So that begs the question, why did you bring me here? You're here because I brought you here, she said. Because I had to heal your sorry ass for doing something so stupid like jumping in front of a blade. As Naruto looked on his chest, oh yeah, he said. I suppose I owe you my thanks. But from the look on your face, I can see that you don't really care what I say right now. Do not give me any blip, you damn brat. You are so lucky I'm inside of you right now. Without me, you would be dead. However, Naruto had no intention of letting her walk all over him. Without you, I might never be in this situation in the first place. Shut up, she shouted. I will admit that some of this was some of my fault. Maybe if I had found some way to counter that man's. She stopped herself before moving on to something else. Had I not been forced to attack Konoha, none of this would have happened. But it did happen, and it's not like I wanted to attack your pathetic excuse for a village or be sealed inside of you. But I did attack Konoha, and I am sealed inside of you. The past does not change the fact that your damn recklessness almost got us killed. And if you do not stop this foolish act, I'm going to make you regret it. You can't threaten me, Kyubi, Naruto said. We both know that your power here is a lot less weaker than what is supposed to be outside because of these seals. She grabbed him with great force and smashed him right inside the wall, making the entire house shake. Now that her yokai was restored to full, she released it wildly as Naruto felt the great force bearing down on him. You ungrateful little brat, she said as she pulled back her fist covered in yokai. Naruto closed his eyes, waiting for the strike to hit him. If he was not focusing on that so much right now, he would have realized that she can't really kill him. After a few minutes, Naruto didn't feel anything as he opened his eyes. One of her hands was still around his throat, as her other hand was still rear back. But to his surprise, she was crying. She seemed to be having an internal battle with herself and crying. As she dropped him, she then stepped back and leaned against the wall before going down as well, as she started to shake a bit. As Naruto saw the teardrops fall on the floor, and her sobbing, he stepped forward. Kyubi, he said. As she looked up and Naruto saw her eyes, they were not those same eyes that he used to see that made her look arrogant and all that. They were puffy and looking confused, desperate, and vulnerable. He was going to say something but she beat into it. Why? Why can't I hate you, she said. What? He said in confusion. I should hate you, she said. Everything you stand for I hate. That damn selflessness of yours. You're the person I was sealed into and that damn kindness of yours almost got me killed. I should hate you right now for being my container. For being who you are, she said in anger. So why, she said, looking at the ground. Why can't I hate you? What is it about you that made me feel this way, she said. Naruto was surprised that she did not hate him. True, they didn't start in the best of terms. But they did have, well, kind of fun talking to each other in the 1 month time period and doing the student exams. But it was after that when things changed. As he could see that she did not know what she was feeling either. She was confused as well. She has always been selfish. She may not be as evil as others thought that she was, but she was always incredibly selfish. But now, looking at her, as Naruto went over to her and sit right beside her, before wrapping his arms around her in a hug. What are you doing, she said, as she was shocked. I'm hugging you. What does it look like, he said. Don't bother asking me why because I don't know. And don't tell me not to because I'm not going to listen, he said. Just shut up and accept it. As he pulled her close into a tight hug. He waited for several moments for her to say something like he's beneath her or something like that. But nothing of that came. He then felt her arms wrapped around him back. Don't think just because I'm letting you get this close means anything. And if you tell anyone about this, I'll cause you unbearable amount of suffering, she said. Huh, who would I tell, Naruto said. I can just imagine that going over with the people of Konoha. Oh yeah, Kyubi. She's one big softie, he said. What do you think the people would say? As the Kyubi just relaxed, as she felt this warmth coming from him. Maybe it was because he was a Henyu, but it felt different and soothing and calm. An odd comfort that she has never experienced before. As they stayed that way for a while until she spoke. Do you remember what happened during the last battle, Naruto? She said. Huh? What about the last battle, he asked. I mean, do you remember the transformation you went under when that man stabbed you? Well, no, Naruto said. All I remember was that he stabbed me with that sword. The next thing I knew, I woke up here. What kind of transformation did I go under, he asked. She lifted up her head. Truthfully, I don't know, she said. It looks similar to my own transformation. I have 3 different stages of transformation. The one I'm in now, I like to call my Henyu state. While in this state, you can see my ears and my tails. Most of my power is released in this state, except I can't cause natural disaster with a flick of my tail. The other 2 states I have are my human state and my kitsune state. Both of which should be self-explanatory. Huh, and you're saying I have something like that, he asked. As I said, I don't really know, she said, as she rests back on his chest. It was similar to mine but also different. It could be one of your abilities that you gained when you became a Henyu, but I don't really know. The tomes I read said nothing about the abilities a Henyu may have. And for all we know, this may be something unique to you. I see, we will worry about that later. Until we find out what is going on with my body, there is nothing that we can do. I suppose you're right, she said. As silence then came once again, the both of them just relaxing. Are you still mad at me? Naruto asked. She sighed. I was never mad at you, she said. I was just... As she paused, trying to sort out her feelings. I was just worried, I guess. You blocked me out so completely I could not even tell what you were feeling. Naruto raised her eyebrow. You worried about me? He asked. She sighed. Yes, I was worried. If you tell anyone I said that, not even God will save you from my wrath. She then paused. As she spoke again, I've always been able to feel what you were feeling. It's a side effect of the seal. However, when you cut me off, I could not feel a single thing. It was just like the other times when I was sealed. You were sealing more people than just me, Naruto asked, curious. Yes, but I would prefer not to speak about it. Maybe someday I'll tell you, but not today. I guess I can live with that, Naruto said. And I'm sorry that I ignored you. I'll never do it again, I promise. As she could not contain her smile. If there was one thing about Naruto, she knew that he always kept his promise. Don't worry about it, she said. However, I do think that you owe me some compensation for making me worry this much, especially after your last little stunt. As Naruto sighed, he supposed it was fair, since he almost got her killed due to his actions. Alright fine, what do you want from me, he asked. Well, what I want you to do is quite simple, she said. I want you to spend more time with me. When you go to sleep, your mind does need to rest the same way your body does, since most time it stays active anyways. From now on, I want you to come in the seal when you sleep and spend your nights with me. Nights with you? Said Naruto, as his face became red, as his mind went straight down the gutter. Not like that, Naruto-kun, she said. But a part of her did not. Well, she wouldn't go against it. She actually thought about it once or twice. He was intelligent, he was strong, and he only gets strong as time passed. And he had this warmth that she could still feel as he held her. And most of all, he was not human, so it was just perfect. She may have joked about sex a few times, but she never really needed it, because the concept of that was a human thing, and she never felt like anyone was worthy enough. She shook her head and just focused on the now. I just want you in the sea with me, so I have someone to talk to, she said. It gets really lonely here in your mind. She did not mention that there was another voice in here. It was because she did not like talking to her anyways. I see, said Naruto. I can do that. That's good, she said with a smile. No, I'm afraid that you need to wake up, so the people who are with you stop worrying so much. Okay, I'll come back later tonight, he said. As she nodded, and with that he faded out of the mindscape. The Kyubi got off the ground and went over towards her bed and lied down, as a lot of things happened tonight, but she felt happy. Naruto slowly opened his eyes. You know, Bachan, as lovely as this is a way to wake up, I don't think you want me to see this. Tsunade was currently leaning over him and running tests on him, as she was currently giving him a show that Jiraiya would kill for. She quickly leaned back. Kid, you're so lucky that you're injured right now, or I would pound your face in for being a pervert. I'm not a pervert, Naruto said. I'm a grown boy whose hormones are getting out of control due to my teenage body and puberty. There's nothing perverted about that, Naruto said. It's completely normal. Tsunade rolled her eyes. Nice summary, but it doesn't make a difference, you're still a pervert. And I guess this is because all men are perverts, he said in a sarcastic tone. Of course. Naruto simply rolled his eyes as he tried to pick himself up, but he winced. Damn it, I'm still a bit tender there, he said, looking at his chest. You shouldn't try to move yet, Brad, she said. That sword did quite a damage to you. The stab, and most of the poison was trying to kill your tissues and your bones. In fact, by all rights, you shouldn't even be alive. Don't worry, Naruto said as he finally sit up. While I won't deny my ass was lucky, I'm feeling much better now. Just a bit tender, that's all. As he looked down to see, there was a scar. I guess the wound was so bad it couldn't heal. That would be due to the poison. The Kyubi regeneration factor wasn't quick enough to flush the poison out and heal the wound in the same time, so it left a scar. Well, that's fine, Naruto said. At least I get a cool story about how I got this scar. Right, said Tsunade. Now that you're awake, there's something that we need to discuss. As she went outside, as coming back in, Jiraiya, her and Shizune came back in. How are you feeling, Naruto-kun? asked Shizune. I feel fine, Shizune-chan, Naruto said. Thanks for asking. I'm glad to see you're feeling better, kid. However, now that you're awake, there's something we need to discuss, Jiraiya said, as he crossed his arms and he had a serious expression on his face. What do you want to talk about, Erasenin? Said Naruto. That transformation you did, I need to know what it was. I know for a fact it wasn't the Kyubi. Honestly, I'm not sure what it was, said Naruto. But you have an idea, said Jiraiya as he nerded his eyes at the boy. Well, it's alright, Naruto-kun. Kyubi, said Naruto. Go ahead, tell them. I think you can trust them with this. They may be human, but they seem to be somewhat trustworthy. And if you don't tell them, they may assume that I'm able to take control of you. Well, said Naruto. Kyubi-chan and I think it has something to do with my Henyu abilities. Henyu abilities? Jiraiya wondered out loud. Wait, said Tsunade. Kyubi-chan, are you telling me that the Great Nine-Tailed Fox is a girl? Yes, said Naruto. A smile came on Tsunade's face. Yes, this proves that women are superior to man in every way. The strongest demon's a female. That has completely made my day. You know, I think I like her. For a human, she isn't that bad, said the Kyubi. Right, said Naruto. Jiraiya coughed, get everyone on track. You were saying something about Henyu abilities. Yeah, because of Orochimaru trying to place that gay ass hickey on my neck in the first. The Kyubi was forced to divert at least 5 tails worth of her yokai in my body. But the human body is not made to handle that amount when it's actually flooding your body. What do you mean by that? Asked Tsunade. Well, when a Jinjul uses your Bichu's yokai, It's actually moving around their body. Noticing the show that you see when a Jinjulki uses their demon's power. The Kyubi said when the cursed seal tried to affect me, it tried to latch onto my muscles and everything. So she had to spread her yokai all over. However, the seal, it was destroyed, but the yokai changed my body, turning my DNA into that of a demon. Tsunade blinked as she tried to process what Naruto just said. So, you're not human. What about your human DNA? Naruto flinched when she said not demon, but he still answered her question. I'm half human and half demon, he said. Hence, I hate you. I still have all my human DNA from within me. But the Kyubi said that is a dominant gene that will get passed down if I ever decide to have kids. However, my demonic DNA was added on to me because of her overflow of yokai in my body. And how long have you known this? Jiraiya asked in a disgruntled voice. Since I woke up in the forest of death, Naruto said in a soft voice. Then why didn't you tell Sensei or me? Asked Jiraiya. Because I was afraid, Naruto said. As he turned away when he spoke, not wanting to look them in their eyes. I was afraid that if you guys find out that I was no longer human, you would hate me. Jiraiya's eyes softened. It was bad enough when the boy held the Kyubi inside of him, so he could understand why Naruto did that. Shizune didn't really understand much, but she knew that the boy was half demon. But he was not evil in any way, she knew that. As she scooted closer and hugged him. I don't think it matters, Naruto-kun, she said, gave him a smile. Even if you're not fully human, you're still one of the kindest people I know, she said. Naruto leaned into her. Thanks, Shizune-chan, he said. It's nice to hear someone say that. The other two smiled at the scene before Tsunade spoke up. I've never heard of a half-demon before. Nor will you, said Naruto. According to Kyubi-chan, the last Henyu to exist in this world was around several hundred years ago before she was born. Everyone looked surprised by that information but filed it away and decided to get back to the task at hand. Well, since you woke up pretty late in the evening, we won't be leaving until tomorrow, said Jiraiya. I suggest you get some more sleep, kid. Leaving? Naruto asked. That's right, said Tsunade. Tomorrow, we will be going back to Konoha. You won our bet after all. Naruto looked down. He didn't realize he was wearing two necklaces. The one that Haku gave him, and the first Kage necklace. Huh, I guess I did, didn't I? As the three of them smiled at him before leaving the room. As Naruto lay down, he never noticed the two necklaces glowing a bit, before dying back down. Time skip, it took 5 days for the group to return back to Konoha. They could have gone faster of course, but both Jiraiya and Tsunade want to go slower. Tsunade just wanted to take her time, and have her freedom for the last time before she became tied down in the job of becoming Hokage, while Jiraiya simply wanted to hate on her. During that time, Naruto also spoke to Shizune and Tsunade, getting to know the both of them better, as he get along extremely well with the both of them, much to Jiraiya's annoyance. As Shizune told him when Naruto spoke with them, he does not stare at their chests. Aside from that, Naruto also spent more time with the Kyubi, and it was interesting learning more about her. Although she did not tell him anything really important, he had to impress her somehow, for she should truly trust him with everything. As the group made their way into Konoha, passing the village gates, as they saw the shocked look on the people's faces, as Naruto listened to the whispers, I can't believe it, Tsunade-sama is back. Now we have both Jiraiya-sama and Tsunade-sama. It is great for the village to see our two strongest ninjas in the village. Hey, isn't that Uzumaki brat? Hey, what is he doing with such distinct shinobi? Maybe Tsunade might use her grandfather Mokitan, and she's reining the brat in. As Naruto snorted, can you believe this shit, Kyubi-chan, he said. Of course I can, she said. Humans always hate and fear things that are beyond their comprehension. It takes a lot of effort to get people to change their opinion on something, especially on this subject, thinking that you are me in human flesh. Honestly, the stupidity of these people never seemed to amaze me, she said. But at least the ninja of the village were paying him respect as they gave him nod of acknowledgement. Obviously, they had seen his actions of the Chunin exams and the evasion. That is still too low after everything you have done. You defeated Gaara and Shikaku. You're the sole reason this village is still standing and not 700 feet under sand. Can't win them all, Naruto said. Whatever, I prefer challenge anyway. She chuckled a bit. I really have found a 1 in a million container with you, huh? You're so different from everyone else. You truly desire more and deserve more than these lonely humans could ever give you. Wow, Naruto said, blushing a bit. Laying it on a little thick, aren't you? Shut up, she said. I was trying to be nice. Sorry, Naruto said. I was just teasing. These humans don't give me the kind of respect I deserve. Maybe that's why I have you, he said, as the Kyubi blushed a bit before smiling. As Naruto caught the mental conversation as they entered the Hokage's tower, as they went towards the meeting room. Welcome home, Tsunade-sama, whom you were greeted with a smile. It is good to see you back. Well, it's good to be back for the most part, said Tsunade. There are still a few painful memories when I look at this place, but I guess that will pass over time. That is good to hear, but I do regret to hear that this place hold pain for you, Tsunade-sama, said Koharu. Now to get started, we are planning on having our announcement and coronation of the position of Hokage tomorrow. That way you can refresh yourself with the village seeing that much have changed in the time that you have been gone. As Naruto wondered why the hell was he still here, they were going to be talking about politics and all that. Hey Bachan, he said, you don't need me for this part, do you? Getting the attention on him. The reaction he received from the elders were amusing, as the both elders then glare at him. Go on, brat, said Tsunade, get some rest. Thanks, Bachan, I'll see you and Erosenian later, Naruto said. As Naruto started to walk away, he noticed two Chunins pounding on the Hokage's door. Konohamaru, get out of there now! As he saw Udon and Mogi. Hey, what's going on, Naruto said. As Udon and Mogi turned towards him. Boss, they said. As Mogi walked up to him, Boss, Konohamaru has locked himself inside the office. He refused to come out. Naruto walked up to the door. You two may want to stand back. As he lifted up his foot and kicked the door wide open. Stepping inside kunais and everything was still at him, but he blew them away with a burst of wind. As Naruto saw Konohamaru's scarf as he was hiding behind the table, as Naruto grabbed it, Konohamaru was kicking and screaming. Hey, let me go, he said. Shut up, said Naruto, as he sunched away with Konohamaru. As they reappear on top of the Hokage's monument, Konohamaru pouted and looked away from him. You know, if you're gonna act like some spoiled kid, this is gonna be a lot harder, said Naruto. Konohamaru simply went silent. As Naruto sighed, so what's your problem, kid? Nothing, Konohamaru said. Don't give me that, said Naruto. Either you tell me what's wrong, or I will hang you outside the Hokage's tower, flag post, in nothing but your underwear. Konohamaru paled from the thought of that, and he knew that when Naruto said that he would do something, he would do it. Konohamaru sighed as he looked over the village. Naruto then noticed tears start to fall. My grandfather died. He died to protect this village. But everyone is already moved on with their life. It's like he never existed. They're just forgetting about him. And moving on. We even have a new Hokage already. But I don't want to move on. I don't want to forget about him, boss. I can't. Naruto placed a hand on Konohamaru's shoulder. Listen, kid. No one has forgotten Sarutobi. You're forgetting that he ruled this place for many years. In fact, he has the longest reign of the entire history in Konoha. He has done so many things for this village it will be impossible for others to forget him. When someone touches as many lives as he did, people just don't forget about that when the person is no longer around. Even with him gone, his memory will still remain in the person's heart who lived here. Really? Konohamaru said, as his sniffling went down a bit. Of course, Naruto said as he smiled. And you know what? I think the old man was happy with the way he died. He was getting up there in his years. I never want to admit it to myself since I always saw him as this eternal pillar of strength. But there were times when I was in the office and I caught sight of how truly tired he was. We normally don't see it, but he was getting weary. He kept this place strong through the second and third Great Shinobi War while fighting in another one. I get the feeling that he was getting tired. He wanted to pass on the will of fire to someone else. But how could that have anything to do with he liking the way he died? He was murdered, said Konohamaru. He died protecting the village, Naruto said, and battling against the enemy ninja. He died like a Hokage, noble, putting his life on the line. And that is exactly the way he wanted to go out. He left behind something burning, can't you see it? The will of fire burning in everyone's heart, knowing that they must never give up no matter what. Really? Said Konohamaru. Of course he did, said Naruto. Can't you see the determination in everyone working together to rebuild Konoha, to make it stronger than before? And that's because of your old man, said Naruto. Now, are you gonna mope and bitch like Sasuke teen anymore, Naruto asked. I wasn't that bad, was I, boss? As Naruto simply laughed. Now, Naruto said. Carry that will of fire inside of you, and let it shine brightly to protect Konoha. That is what he left behind. Konohamaru smiled. Thanks, boss, he said. You're welcome, said Naruto. And with that, Konohamaru ran off, with a smile on his face. making Naruto smile as he looked over Konoha. As Naruto was about to get up and leave, he heard a voice. There was quite a speech that you gave that young man. As he turned to see a man with bandages wrapped around his face, half of it in weight. He looked to be Sarutobi's age, and his arm was in a sling, one of them, as he walked with a cane. What the hell, Naruto thought. I didn't even sense his approach until he was right on top of me. That this man could get so close to him, without him being found out, he was good. But Naruto didn't sense any hostile intent, so he gave the man a grin. Thanks. But it was nothing really. I just happened to be cool and amazed at these kind of things. Indeed, the man said as he walked over, looking over the village. Tell me, boy, did you mean those words back there? You know, Naruto said, if you're going to talk to me, the least you could do is give me your name. Oh, my apologies, Uzumaki-san. My name is Danzo, the man said. Well, it seems you already know my name, said Naruto. And seems that you were here spying on me, it means that you want to talk. You're quite perceptive. It seems your academy records are greatly misconcept your true skills. Well, not really, Naruto said. I was an idiot back then. But you can be amazed what 6 months of training can do. I was wondering, would you be interested in helping me protecting this beautiful village? I have a need of strong individuals who are willing to do the things that need to be done. From the way you're speaking, it seems like you want to bring me in some kind of a military. And if you're asking me alone, seems like you don't have approval from the Hokage. I've read about you in some of the history books I've read. You are Shinobi Danzo, former commander of Root, a branch that was separate from the standard military and did not answer to the Hokage. But it was suspended a long time ago, Naruto said. I see you're able to come with a few sound theories when only given a few facts. It's a skill, Naruto said. But I don't really have any interest in joining your force. And I can see that you're well endowed to protect Konoha. Even I can tell. Why would you suspend a group that is doing things in the shadows to make sure their home is safe? Danzo narrowed his eyes at the boy, but he said nothing. Don't worry. I won't tell the Hokage anything. I can see that you're looking out for the village, Naruto said. But next time, just be careful who you try to recruit. And with that, Naruto sunshine away. Uzumaki Naruto. You are an interesting character indeed. Let's see how you will turn out in the future. As Naruto finally arrived at his house, he collapsed on his bed. He was exhausted. After everything, he was tired. His body needed some rest. But his mind, however, was free. So, he spent the time talking with the Kyubi as his body get a lot of rest. About 16 hours later, Naruto heard a loud banging on his door. As Naruto wondered who the hell was that, as he grunted and got out of bed and made his way over. He opened the door and saw a fuming Tenten standing there. Hey Tenten, Naruto said. Can I help you? Tenten mouth became a thin line. You left. You left without saying goodbye. Well, Tenten did not seem to be interested in what he was saying, as she stomped in the room, making him back up. Not only did you leave, but you went on a mission to find Tsunade-sama, but you did not tell me. Well, just to be square, I didn't know I was going to look for her until like 2 days in the mission. That's not the point, she shouted, as she poked him in the chest, making him take a step back, as Naruto ended up falling back on his couch. As she looked over at him, give me one good reason why I shouldn't turn into a pincushion. Well, because now you get to see your idol every day. Tenten sighed, honest Naruto-kun. What am I going to do with you? Realizing that danger has passed, Naruto sat up on his couch. I don't know what you're implying, Tenten. Of course not, she said. As she quickly sat down, so tell me, what's Tsunade-sama like? I bet it was incredible being with such a powerful and strong Kunoichi. Do you see her do anything amazing? Do you think you can introduce us? What did you see? You need to slow down, Naruto said. You're talking too fast. Sir, Naruto-kun, she said, I'm just so excited that Tsunade-sama is here. She won't be so excited when she finds out that Bachan is nothing but an old drunk. Shouldn't tell her that though, said Naruto. Don't want to break her dream. Well, how about later I introduce you to her, said Naruto. You will do that for me? Really? Tenten latched onto his neck and started to squeeze him, as Naruto started to turn blue. Oh, thank you so much, Naruto-kun, she said, hugging him as tight as possible. You have no idea how... Naruto-kun? As she noticed Naruto was rather blue. As she poked him, Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun. Time skips, Tsunade sat at her decks. There was so much for her to do. A lot. And plus all the meetings they need to go into to deal with the sand situation. As she pick up a sheet for recommended tuning exam promotion. As she summoned one of her envoys, it was wearing a bear mask. Get me Naruto Uzumaki, she said. After waking up from Tenten grip, Naruto and Tenten went to get some ramen. As Naruto was currently in his 14th bowl, while Tenten was in her first. As he told her about the mission, while left out the part that he got stabbed. And left out the junking part of Tsunade as well, not to break Tenten's dream on the woman. Suddenly a masked envoy appeared in a sunshine right next to them. Uzumaki-san, Tsunade-sama would like to see you. As Naruto looked at the bear, masked were an envoy. Alright, tell her I'll be there shortly. The envoy nodded and he vanished. Looks like I'm having to cut this short, Tenchan. I'll see you later, okay? She gave a soft, depressed sigh. She was hoping to spend some more time with him. Okay, I'll see you later, she said. As Naruto placed a hand over hers and gave a soft squeeze, before disappearing in the sunshine. Moments later, you called Bachan. Tsunade turned. Kid, haven't you ever heard of a door, she asked, as he was coming through the window. Doors are for losers. So what do you need to see me for? Tsunade tossed him a scroll. I want to see you to congratulate you on your promotion, kid. As Naruto unsealed the contents of the scroll as he saw the green Chunin flap jacket. Awesome. I knew they would have to promote me after I kicked ass in Chunin exams. As he resealed the jacket, he did not feel like wearing something so bulky. So does that mean I'm gonna get better mission than those D-rank tyrants? Of course, to the village in this situation right now, we need all the help we can get. As a Chunin, you will be going on high rank missions with other Chunin and other Jonins. And you will also be leading some of the Genins on difficult missions since some of their Jonin senseis are being assigned to tougher missions. What about Team 7 or the Axe? You will still go on occasional mission with them too. But because you're a Chunin, you will only go on a high rank mission when I assign you to them. Makes sense, Naruto said. Come back in a day or two and I'll have a mission for you, she said. Alright then, I'll see you later, Bachan, he said. As he jumped through the window. Damn brat, she thought. Time skip. As Naruto and Anko was currently down in sick. Had enough Anko in her to ask. As Anko could see at least 50 Narutos in front of her. What the hell, she said, as she saw that smirk on all of their faces. How come you're not wasted? You're supposed to be a lightweight, she said. Thanks to Kyubi and his own demonic properties, Naruto wasn't even sure that he could get junk. Not that he would tell her that she might accuse him of cheating. This goes to show you how incredible I am. I'm talented at anything I set my mind on. And this goes for drinking as well. Oh yeah, Uncle said as he drank another shot. As Naruto drank another as well. 20 minutes later, Uncle was passed out on the table, snoring. As Naruto picked up Uncle as he walked over to the owner of the bar, a man named Kenshin. After having Naruto come in regular with the Uncle for the past few months, he hold no animosity towards Naruto. Something I can help you with, said Kenji. Yeah, said Naruto. Put our knight on her tab. You know she's gonna kill you, right, kid? Meh, I can deal with it, said Naruto. Well, alright, if you're sure. And with that, Naruto was gone. The next morning, my god, Uncle said, as her head was spinning. She remembered what happened last night. That damn kid, she said. She made her way to her kitchen to get her hangover cure. As she saw it on the table, confused why it was there, she picked it up, and she got a glass of water. As she drank it, she didn't notice there was a paper underneath it. A bill. She picked it up as her eyes went wide. The entire village of Konoha could hear Naruto's name being shouted out. Somewhere across Konoha, Naruto, who was about to start his day, heard his name being shouted out. It was her fault for messing with him so much time. Time skip. Good morning, Bachan. Naruto ducked under the paperweight that went over his head. What do you want, disrespectful kid, she said. Can't you see I'm busy? And there's a door right over there. Yeah, and sitting here drinking sake is really hard work, right? Said Naruto. How did you... As Naruto tapped his nose. As he remembered he could probably smell it from a mile away. What do you want, she said. Naruto was about to speak till he noticed something. Hey Bachan, did you notice all of your paperwork are in the wrong stacks? What the hell are you talking about, brat? Naruto sighed as he created clones and started to fix up the stacks. You mix up the stacks of missions, scrolls, and paperwork, they're in the wrong order. The first one on the left is where all the papers on internal issues of Konoha go. The next one's for external issues like alliances, and the third one for anything that the council gives you. How do you know all of that, she asked. Well, I often spent several hours a day when I was younger here, and you know the old man. When I started to announce that it was my dream to become Hokage, he let me file paper with him and whatnot. I was even allowed to pick up missions for teams on occasions. Right, she said, as his clone poofed away after finishing. So what can I do for you? I was actually hoping to get a mission from you. You're very fortunate then, said Tsunade with a smirk. We have a surplus of mission after what happened. Hold on there, as she started to go through the papers, before pulling out a scroll. As she threw it to him, you are to escort the Sand siblings back to the Hidden Sand and bring over terms of alliance to their council. You will be staying there until they sign the terms, before returning. Any question? Nah, I'm thinking I'm going to say Naruto. So, where do I meet them? He said as he pocketed the scroll. We've actually given him a hotel room until I find someone to be the escort, as she wrote down the direction. Make sure you're all packed and ready to go. I want you to head out in the next hour. I'll get on that right away. Oh, you know that you can use your clones to help with the paperwork, right? As Naruto jumped through the window, Tsunade slapped her forehead. That brat. He's a genius, she said, as she created a clone, and had it starting to work on the paperwork as she grabbed a bottle of steak and went over towards the couch. Time skip. Temari flipped through the magazine. It's been at least a week since he was released from jail and given a hotel to stay until they were escorted back. And things weren't so bad in the times that she was here. She finally got closer to Gaara. After he apologized, she and Kankuro got to talk to him better. Not that he really said anything, but he no longer threatened her to kill her when she was near. And he actually listened when she talked. A knock at the door interrupted her reading as she looked over at Kankuro, as he was tinkering with Karasu after he was allowed to have it back. As Gaara was sitting on the couch watching the TV. Who's gonna get that, she said. Not me, said Kankuro. I'll get it, said Gaara as he stood up and walked towards the door. As he opened it. What can I do for you, Uzumaki, he said. The others snapped their heads over and they heard the name, remembering it from the Chunin exams. As Naruto smiled, he looked at Gaara. How have you been, Gaara? As Gaara raised the eyebrow by the Uzumaki friendliness. I have been fine, Uzumaki. As he paused, he then remembered it was polite to ask how someone was doing in return. And how are you, he asked. Oh, you know, same old, same old. I can't really complain. Oh, I'm actually here because Bachan has given me the mission to escort the both of you back to the Hidden Sand. Really? Said Temari. But guys, it'll be in this episode right here. If you want the next part, this know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the notifications to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends and social media platform. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.